Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another interesting episode of Tea Talks Tuesday. We are here today to learn a little slightly different from the nutrition, but yes, again connected with the nutrition. So, health is one of our basic human rights, and it needs the ideal ecosystem to thrive. So, soil is the root to the sustainable ecosystem. Across the globe, soil is dying. The United Nations says that the world has about only about 60 years of harvest left before cultivation soil is going to become a desert. So let's talk more about this on Save Soil movement and its relation to our health with Varsha Menon. Over to you, Dr. Janki, to introduce Varsha here.
Thank you, Mayuri. And welcome back to Tea Talks Tuesday once again. And welcome Earth Buddy, Varsha Menon. So we are all Earth Buddies because now we are into the Save Soil movement. So we thought soil is very, very important for us to get. If the soil is really good, then we'll get 100% nourishment from our products, from our food. So the soil is deficient of any nutrient for that matter. When we studied, we really were looking into zinc deficient soils and zinc sufficient soils, and we were doing those studies. I remember Dr. Lata was doing on those when we were in MSc. So that way, soil is very, very important in many other ways. But since we are nutritionists, we are only interested in the nutrition of the person and health of the person. So since we all joined this Save Soil movement, we thought maybe this is very important topic that we can discuss today, and something different from our regular topics. And Varsha is very actively participating in Save Soil movement. So I thought maybe she's the best person to speak on, because she's a nutritionist. She's a director and a consultant nutritionist at Starlight, and she's based out in Dubai right now. She's talking from Dubai with us right now. So I thought she's the best person, being a nutritionist and a Save Soil Movement Earth Buddy. So welcome, Earth Buddy, Varsha Menon. Stage is yours. And we all put our leaves today.
Okay. Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Janaki and Mayuri. Thank you so much for inviting me once again on Tuesday Tea Talks. It is always a pleasure to be on this platform. And I know we're going to talk a little different from our normal routine today. And however, of course, it is related to nutrition, and we need to know what we can do to keep ourselves healthy. So I'll just share my screen. Yes, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just going to talk a little bit of how we can save soil and thereby save the planet, because we all need to live on this planet and we have to be healthy. So I'm just going to tell you how the relation between soil and certain aspects that are happening in the universe, how it is related and how we can make those changes. Now, before that, I think there are very few people. I don't know, Mayuri, if you're on FB too, if you can let me know the answers. How many of you don't know about the Save Soil movement? I think everybody by now knows about it, but if there is somebody who does not know about it, can you either raise hands or say you don't know, or some way to let us know that you're not aware of the program? I guess everybody knows about it, whoever are here. Yes, yeah. Yes. Okay, so for those of you who know about the program, how much involved are you in it? In the sense, how much do you know of why this program has started, this campaign has started, how important it is? If you can just maybe put it on a scale of 1 to 10, if you can tell me you are 5% in it or 10% in it or 1%, how much of what will be your rating of how important this program, this movement is to you?
This movement is important, at least 100% it is important for us, for
Yes,
humanity in
yes,
general. But I
yes.
don't know much about it. I didn't, I
Okay,
just recently got enrolled, but
okay.
I'm not reading completely. So I thought maybe you are the right person to let us know.
Great, perfect. All right. So just to give you an initial thing of what it is, let's say now it's almost evening. So let's say, ma'am, what did you have for lunch, or what is your favorite food?
Rice.
Rice with?
Rice with dal and some green leafy vegetable and a little bit of curd I had today.
Okay. And is that your favorite food?
Yeah, curd is favorite right now because it's quite hot here.
Okay, okay. All right. Now, curd is something that is available throughout. I mean, we don't have any dearth of any milk or milk products right now. But have you ever thought of a time where curd may not be available in the next, let's say, 30 to 40 years? What would be your situation at that point? Or let's say your grandchildren may never even know what curd was ever, because it's not available right now. This is a situation that can arise because of soil extinction. And this is something that I don't think any of us as nutritionists can even think of, not having food or people having to fight for food. That is something that we don't want to happen. So in that sense, we all, I think in our practice, in our day-to-day looking at clients, we know that a lot of people come in with micronutrient deficiencies compared to what it was, let's say 20 years back. Everybody almost has a vitamin B12 deficiency, has a vitamin D deficiency, has an iron deficiency. It could be a calcium deficiency. And things have changed so much right now. Also, the quality of food that we get today is much, much different from what it was, let's say 50, 60 years back. Now, we all know the gluten also, even that's something as small as that. So many people having gluten intolerance. The quality of the gluten is much different today than what it was 20 years back. And our gut is not able to accept those changes. So these are some things which we are seeing in practice, and we've seen them in the last 15, 20 years. And I'm sure, ma'am, you must have seen it in the last 30 years also, and you would have seen the change in that time.
Yes.
So the basic difference that happens when we look at soil is there's a difference between soil and sand. Now, what is soil and what is sand? Now, when you want something to grow on soil, you don't say you want to grow a plant on sand. It has to grow on soil. So what is the difference between sand and soil? When sand has some organic content in it, it has some organic matter in it, it becomes soil. And when you remove that organic content from the soil, it becomes sand, and it is not cultivable sand. You cannot cultivate anything on that sand. So currently what is happening is this organic content is reducing in the soil that we have. Just to give you a brief picture and some statistics. Now, about 12 to 15 inches of soil that is there below the ground is the most important aspect of the soil. And some statistics there, if you see, now, normally for any soil to be called as healthy soil, there should be about 3 to 6% of organic content in it. Like how we are talking about our gut microbiome. We want microorganisms in our gut. The same way, soil also requires microorganisms. There is a whole system that works in that soil, which we can't see. If that does not work, that soil becomes unhealthy. And if you see, there is about 62% of India's soil, which has less than 0.5% of organic content, which means it is not cultivable at all. And the similar statistics you can see all over the world too. It is not specific to any country. It is there all throughout. Even being in UAE, even in Dubai, even in the desert area, this is something that is going on. It's not something that is only to India or only to the US. It is there all through the world. So wanting to change this, now soil can become extinct if this goes on for a long period of time. And when I say soil going extinct, we've heard of animals going extinct, but we've never heard of soil going extinct. And what impact that can have on humanity is something that we will talk about. Now, there are different areas that it can show an impact if soil is extinct. I'll just go a little bit into detail of each one of them. If you're looking at soil biodiversity, like I said, like our gut microbiome, now the amount of microbes we have in our gut, we know are much, much more than the number of cells that we have in our body. The same way, then 1 teaspoon of soil, of healthy soil, if you take, it has more number of organisms than the number of people on this planet. That's the amount of biodiversity that healthy soil can have. And it is this biodiversity that helps and supplies nutrients to the plants, to whatever trees that it grows on, and then makes the whatever the flowers or the fruit or the vegetable or whatever is grown there. And that is what makes it alive. And for all purposes, about 87% of all living forms on this planet depend on healthy soil. So if there is no healthy soil, we as a humanity might, as a species, might come down. It is that bad. And there are about 27,000 species that go extinct every year. It could be because of plowing of the land. It could be because of the use of pesticides. It could be any reason that the farmers use. But because of that, there are a lot of species that go extinct. And because of that, that biodiversity in the soil is going off. That is making it unhealthy. And only if you have healthy soil can your life be enriched, can your food be enriched. So this is one of the reasons why we need to have healthy soil. Another thing that can happen is scarcity of water. Now, when you have healthy soil with good organic content, the soil holds that water. Now, soil has a phenomenal characteristic to hold a lot of water in it. Now, it holds about 800% of all the rivers combined. So imagine the amount of water that soil can hold. If there is a possibility of that happening, then the chance of any drought or any floods will not happen. But if the soil does not have that organic content in it and is as parched as what you see in the picture here, the water will not get absorbed by the soil. It will just flow off and it will lead to floods, thereby leading to drought also. And that thereby affecting the crops that are grown in that area. So this is also one of the impact that soil can have if it is not healthy. Another thing is climate change. We all are talking so much about climate change. I know we've been talking about the global warming and it getting so hot and all of that. Now, there are a lot of carbon pools in the system. It could be either your fossil fuel or your what do you say, your oil and gas, or it could be your whatever changes that are happening in the planet right now because of climate change. Soil is one of the pools that are that can hold carbon or rather carbon dioxide. Now, because it is not healthy, all the carbon which is supposed to be in the soil is now adding on to the carbon pool in the atmosphere. The more carbon in the atmosphere, the more heat that the planet will be in. So that's why we are with every year passing by, we are able to see a lot of the summers are coming in very fast. We are able to feel that heat very fast. That's only because there's a lot of carbon that is released and it is present in the atmosphere here. So apart from the soil, there are other things also. We are burning fossil fuels, our pollution, whatever be the reasons, that's adding on to the carbon pool in the climate. And that's causing the climate change. Another thing is the food security. Now, we all know that food comes from soil. We grow all our food in the ground, and it could be your vegetables, your fruit, your cereal, whatever it is. Now, estimates show that there is going to be a 25% increase in the population by 2045, which means there are going to be around 9.2 billion people in this world. And at the same time, if we go ahead with the current situation of the soil is going to produce 40% less food than what it is today. So if you see, our population is going to rise, but our food produce is going to decrease. So imagine 25% more people, but 40% less food. Imagine the food crisis that can happen at that point in time. It could lead to wars, it could lead to disruption, it could lead to anything. And food is one thing that I think none of us can live without. Today, we are so used to such ample amounts of foods everywhere. Everywhere you go, you just have to pick up something, click of a button, you get food. But imagine a time, let's say 30 years from now, none of that is available. You're not able to, and if you're in a place where, let's say, food is coming in from another country, they will want to keep that food for themselves. They are not going to export that food to you. So what are you going to do? So this is a situation that can happen if we continue to be at this stage where soil is unhealthy. Another thing which we already discussed was on the nutritional deficiencies. Now, reports have shown that there is a lot of drop in the mineral content or the protein content of fruits and vegetables or any food that is available in the different countries. I'm sure all of you know that this movement was started by Sadhguru. So he says that the amount of nutrients that you might eat in the nutrients that that your grandparents would have got in one orange, you have to eat 8 oranges to get the same nutrients. And we don't have 8 oranges at all. We just stop at 1 or we stop at 2. That's the maximum that we eat. So it's not possible for us to eat that much amount of food also to get all the nutrients. So that's what is happening with unhealthy soil. Even the nutritive value is decreasing, which is why we are seeing a lot of nutrition deficiencies in our clients also. So as much as we want food to be the natural answer to them, they are also beginning to start supplements, which we don't want. We want them to use natural foods and rectify their deficiencies. Another thing is the livelihood of farmers. Now, when there is healthy soil, there is good crop cultivation, there is good income for them also. On the other hand, when there is drought, there is floods, there is unhealthy soil, they are not able to raise their income also, and they're not able to get what they actually want. So these are the major impacts that are there on unhealthy soil. So it's very important that we revive this soil, and given food security to everybody, we given food with good nutritive value to everybody. There is a good thriving biodiversity in the soil. We have a cooler planet, there is water security, and there is a better livelihood for the farmers. And when we are saying that we want to increase this organic content, what is this organic content? What can we do to increase this organic content from 0.5 to 3%? And also, if we do something now, then in the next 40, 50 years or 60 years, everything will be reversed. Whereas if we start doing these changes, let's say 10 years from now or 15 years from now, for it to come back from sand to soil will take around 150 to 200 years. And that is a long period of time. So we need to act now. We need to do things to change this organic content and improve this organic content now. So what can we do to change this? One is have a lot of vegetation, have a lot of plants around. So any plants, any animals in the farm, all animal droppings, plant litter, leaves that fall from the plant, flowers that fall from the plant and get degraded in the soil, all of that will help in increasing the organic content of the soil. That is how we increase the organic content. So this whole movement of the Conscious Planet or the Save Soil movement was started or initiated by Sadhguru only to have a conscious approach towards how we treat our soil. So he started it with that initiative. And what are the things that you can do currently? Let's say now you can buy organic food. Let's say if you don't want to buy something which has pesticides or fertilizers, you can buy organic food. You can plant more trees in and around your city, in and around your house. You can have your own terrace garden. You can educate farmers if at all there's anybody close to you. You can maybe protest if you want against fertilizers, if that's the case, if that's what you want to do. You can reduce the amount of water waste in your house. You can make your own compost with your vegetable waste, like say all the peels and all the vegetable peelings that we have, we can make our own compost. These are things that we can do at an individual level because this is all for the family. But the movement is all about the planet. We are not looking at an individual level right now because what you do today, maybe your child will not do it tomorrow. Maybe your grandchild will not do it tomorrow. day after tomorrow. So what he is looking for is something where we drive a policy change in the government. It could be in any country. He's looking at many nations, and he's looking at a policy change so that this remains in the policy and it continues for generations to come. This is what he is looking for. And as to build awareness, he is going on a motorcycle ride. I'm sure all of you are aware of this. He started his journey on 21st of March. He is doing a 100-day journey across 26 nations, driving 30,000 kilometers across sun, across hail, across storm, across rain, ice. He's today in Geneva. I think this is the 9th stop for him to the 9th country today. And it is snowing there right now. So he, being 65 years old, he's doing all of this only to save the nation or save the planet for the future generation. And one thing that he asks us to do is to become earth buddies and help spread the word across to everybody so that everybody talks about soil, understands the meaning of why it is important, and thereby the governments can make these changes in their policies. So if any of you have not become an earth buddy yet, I will share the link with you on the chat and you can become an earth buddy. Share this information among your friends, family, understand the importance of soil, why it is needed to save soil. And there is a very good documentary on Netflix that could be your weekend movie time. It's called Kiss the Ground. You should watch that documentary. It talks about what a few countries have done to change the soil from sand to soil. It's a very nice documentary. That is something that you could do. And this is what we can do in 20 years. Once we help in making the soil healthy, something that is barren, something that is so uninteresting to see, we are looking at something which is so green and so nice. Between the two, I'm definitely sure all of us would want to go for the picture on the right. That is something that we would want always, right? So that is something we can do right now. And it is not just our responsibility, it is a responsibility for our future generation too. You would want your child also to be in a place like this. You wouldn't want him to be in a barren land, right? So this is something that we can do. So I just want to end with giving you some resources that are available. You can always get the website. It's called savesoil.org. I will also share the link with you to join as an earth buddy in the chat in a minute. I want to end with saying all of us are doing this saving soil for the future generation. Now, let's assume 60 years later or 100 years later, something happens, God forbid, and this soil is not as healthy as what it is today and things aren't working well. And let's say your grandchild comes to you and says, why did you do this to me? Why couldn't you do something? I just want you to give it a thought as to what would you tell your grandchild? I don't want to be in a situation where I'm guilty of not doing anything, but I want to tell my grandchild that I tried, I did my best, I did what I could. If it happens, it will definitely happen. But if it didn't happen, at least I can tell them that I tried. I don't want to be in a place where I didn't do anything at all. So that's my take on this. And I want to leave you with that thought of what you might want to tell your grandchild. And that's all about the Save Soil movement. And we'll take any questions if there are any. And I will just share the link to join the Earth Buddy. Any questions I'm willing to take.
It's really nice. It's an eye-opener, very short and sweet eye-opener, like how it is linked to our deficiencies, current deficiencies that we are looking at.
Yes.
But what is the reason why this is happening?
So, Doctor, over the years, things have changed.
Organic matter, why the organic matter is
yes.
going away?
Yes, because of plowing of the land, many people now, we don't, in earlier times, there used to be animals who were actually driven on the land where it is, where crops are grown. That is not happening now. A lot of use of fertilizers, use of chemicals are there. All this, again, we are not in the blame game. We are not trying to say that they are right or we are wrong, because we can't stop that from happening. Now, they have grown to such a level only because we are using them. Now, if we weren't using them, they wouldn't have grown to such a level. So this is not a campaign against anybody, but it's just a way of how you can change it. Now, there are certain ways or certain means in which you may need to use them. There are certain ways in which you can change also. So over a period of time, what has happened is the farmers have changed their way of farming itself. And that is what has caused in the last 40, 50 years, this sudden change from soil to sand. And even when you get onto soil, like you need to have that wet sand there when you actually go onto a farm, which may or may not be there today. You don't feel that, because that water capacity, that capacity to take in all that water for the soil is not there, because it does not have that organic content. And at the end of the day, I think that, like we talk about our gut microbiome, that's the best example that I can give. We talk about microorganisms so much in our subject. It's the same with the soil. If they don't have that microbiome, they don't have that circle, that cycle of life that's happening in the soil, somewhere the cycle gets cut. And that's where unhealthy soil starts coming up.
And also the free grazing of animals, which got reduced so drastically, especially the cows.
Yes.
Where the droppings are not there, and everything is in a cage kind of thing.
Yes, exactly. Because those are the things that are needed for soil. So even today, like after I do a puja, we the flowers that we have there, we actually dig it in the ground. We don't throw it in the dustbin. We don't throw it in the garbage bin. We actually kind of dig it and put it into soil so that helps that particular plant to grow. So of course, this is personal things that we do. Like I listed out those 5, 6 things that we can do, but that doesn't stop at you doing it. It has to be for the entire planet. So that's why we're looking at this policy changes.
Right.
There are so many things, like a lot of infrastructure. Yes. And then the closing of catchment areas, water catchment areas, and lot of plastic usage. Yes. Plastic is in the air at the micro level. I think nano plastic granules are there in the air which we are inhaling.
Yes, exactly.
So the organic matter has come down. Other inorganic matter is increasing probably.
Yes.
And with the less land available for cultivation, I think, and of course more demand is there. As the population increases, there's always more demand. And in small land, people would want to produce more.
Yes. So
it's
as
all
much as
an ecosystem, complete ecosystem of
exactly
living, we have to change to natural ways.
Yes. Because of the ease of using these things, it has become like that. Like even for us, even if you look at the nutritional aspect of it, yes, it is good to sit and grind a tomato chutney or maybe something like that on the thing rather than using a mixie. But today we do use mixie because it's for the ease, and we are seeing the result of it. As much lifestyle disorders we have today, our grandparents never had that, even though they ate the same food. So it's the same thing even in the soil. And earthworms, actually, when there are more earthworms, it's good for the soil. Whereas we are all scared of it, we want to kill it, we want to do all of that. But as much as earthworms are there in your soil, it is good for you.
Farmers' friends, they are farmers' friends. That's what they are saying, right? Earthworms.
In school, we read that about earthworm.
Yes.
And even that backyard thing is also, which is being missing because of the apartment culture and all.
Yes.
Connect, there are many things that we can interlink, and the ecosystem changes which are happening.
Yes.
Of course.
Everything links to the soil.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I got to know that just a couple of months back. I never knew soil can go extinct.
Yeah, extinction of soil is something very dangerous.
And
It kills, alarming.
Excellent, Varsha, ma'am. Well done.
Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Samata.
Yeah, ma'am. A very unique topic, matlab, the base from, the very existence of life is based on the soil, and we often forget to have the gratitude of, protecting it.
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am, at a personal level, because I joined the session a little late, at a personal level, what you think the most common mistakes we are doing or we can prevent, doing? Can you just, if you have already mentioned, can you
See,
just...
honestly, it is nothing about you or me. It's not some mistake that you are doing or I am doing. It is something as a whole, as all of us are part of it. And there's no one thing that is wrong or one thing that is right. It has to be as, like, if you see that documentary on Kiss the Ground that I was saying, they talk about how they take plant wastage. Now, all of us, very few states actually have that degradation of waste disposal. Plants and, food waste in one, plastic in one, glass in one. Very few states have that in the normal course. We all put everything in one cover and throw it. Good, bad, ugly, doesn't matter. We're all putting it all together. That's something as simple as that. Now, just by you doing it, let's say you are so motivated and you do it from today, it's not going to help as much. Of course, it is going to be good, very good, excellent that you're doing it from your personal level. But does it help the planet? It may not if you do it alone. It has to come from everybody, which is why they're wanting the policy change, which is why they want governments to act. And he's actually garnering the support of at least 3.5 to 4 billion people, because they are 60% of the world's electorate. And when that many people talk about it, that's when governments will change. That's when they will hear the people, and they'll know that the person or the people who are there are in it for the future. It's not just for now. They're looking at it for the future. So that's something that he's looking at. So yes, so like Samantha, individually you can do a lot of things, but for the movement, it involves a whole lot of other things also, and other people, other nations, everything together.
Yes, ma'am. But I was just trying to reflect on the question you put to us, like, what would I tell to my children or, grandchildren? Yes. So alone, how much can I really do?
Practice,
exactly.
of course,
So
practice
exactly.
is very good.
Yes. So you can do it at your level. Definitely, it is going to help you. You doing it again, like I'm saying, there is no guarantee that your son or your daughter will do it. There is no guarantee that they will do. But if a government says that this is the rule, you have to follow it. Now, red is stop and green is go. Everybody knows that, right? It's not something that you do alone. So that's how it should become. That's how it should be. Only then the soil will change in the whole gamut of things.
True, ma'am.
And for that, you need to become earth buddy.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I'm already an earth buddy now. I have registered, ma'am.
Lovely.
And ma'am, when coming to hydroponics, coming to the nutrition part, like, see, we have the soil has a lot of, minerals and all, whatever the nutrients we need. But hydroponics, maybe this is out of topic, just out of interest, I'm asking, ma'am. So do they put the water, like any special water, or the regular water which has the minerals which are like, always there kind?
Water is water. I think it's what you put into extra things that make it the actual special water. Okay. It could be compost, it could be, like I said, the animal droppings, which are natural, the leaves, any of that. That's what makes it more organic. Water is just water. You don't have special water.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
So on Facebook, Shweta Siddha says that it's a great session. And Priyanka Singh also says much needed topic. No questions as of now. Yeah, more of a compliment.
So totally a new topic and
An awareness session.
awareness on that, and a totally new
Yes.
topic and on a nutrition platform.
Yes, it is much
definitely-
needed, ma'am.
Very much needed.
Yeah, a topic to think
Yeah.
and act upon it. Something.
Yes, like I said, this is the time, because if we don't do it now, it will take 150, 200 years for it to get back into what it was, let's say 60 years back. So that's not something that we would want to even think of. I mean, I can't think of a time where we don't have food. We've never thought of a situation like that. It's so rampant right now. I can't think of, let's say, not having a mango or not having a apple, or I can't think of it. So, and I hope we don't reach that stage.
Yes, ma'am.
Any-
See, even if we
any-
can revive the nature of the soil to the original after 150, 200 years, but the suffering the generations go through
Exactly.
this time is
Yes,
what we
yes,
don't want.
it's not worth it. Exactly.
Yes.
Absolutely.
that is being nature taking its own way of getting back to
Yes.
normalcy. But
Yes.
that comes with a lot of sacrifice if you don't do.
Maybe
If
the
you don't do
reason to
it now.
Corona.
Yeah,
Yes. I know we are talking so much about Corona. They are saying there might be a much more number of deaths because of this. If Corona deaths are really high, this is going to be much more than that. So, yeah.
Any information on deserts being growing, deserts being growing? Any information on that?
Desert growing, I don't have the statistics right now, although we are yet to unfold and see, especially in the Middle East now, because as such it is a barren land. But we have studies that show that whatever cultivable land was there in the last, I think 20 or 40 years, I forgot the statistics exactly, that has reduced significantly. Even if it is that 50% of cultivable land, that also has reduced. So at least we should save what we can. What is already a desert, which is sand, we can't do anything. But what is already there, what we can cultivate, that is something that we really need to save.
Great, nice. Oh, it's really nice. Sometime back I heard in a speech, sometime back in Soviet Union, why the government, what government did is they took the seeds and just sprayed the seeds from the sky, from airplane.
Apple seed.
Is it apple seed?
I think it's apple seed, if I'm not wrong.
Some fruits, I
Yes.
don't remember properly. And I never thought it will come use to relate that this here. So
Yes, yes.
So all mountains became green after that.
Yes, yes, yes. Because
The
there'll be
growth of the trees.
some green, yes, some greenery, some leaves they will shed, something will happen. So that is, in fact, this whole movement that he started was long time back. He started off with the Green Hands Project, the Rally for Rivers, all of that was towards this.
Planetary.
Yes, yes. So just to save the soil.
Great.
So,
Nice.
yeah.
So good. We'll say goodbye for today, and
Yes.
let's let all of us become earth buddies, so that as you said, the number of people that say yes will make the government to take a decision. So we need
Absolutely.
more people to become earth buddies, so that is our might that we can add to this movement.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
You can maybe post the link on Facebook also.
Yes, we'll do that. I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
So the Save Soil link, which Varsha has shared here on Zoom, we'll share it on our Facebook comments also, and on our Facebook page. So people can join, who are interested to join as the Earth Buddies. We request you all to join through this link.
To save the planet.
to save the planet.
Yes.
That's
Like he
what the
says, save
nutrition.
soil, let's make it happen. So I think that's something which is a common thing for us now.
Save soil,
And
save life, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
so
sir,
much,
for
ma'am.
this.
Thank you so much, Dr. Janki and Mayuri. Thank you once
Thank
again.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's a great pleasure having you all the time.
So thank you, Varsha. Thanks for being here on Tea Talks and giving us such a eye-opener session with a short, crisp, and awareness session. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mayuri. Thank you for calling me once again. It's always a pleasure to be on your platform.
So see you all next Tuesday, same time, same place. Bye for today.
Bye.